I have never traveled outside the United States, so I'm used to the States, but this is totally different.
You can call them roads. So I literally, on the way from Mombasa, saw an entire car disappear in a pothole. I think that aptly describes the kind of roads that are here. Might want to just double check with.
The first day we went on a walk and all the kids just come out and just join you, and so we had like all the village kids just following us, and we went on like this super long walk. We went to see the Coins for Kenya dam that they built, I guess. We kind of got lost half of us part of the way, and so we had to be like, water? Like, where's the... And so they were like, white people, that way. Like, it was so funny.
I remember when we first got there too, we spent a little bit of time just getting unloaded. There was so much generosity that we filled this whole room with shirts and solar lamps and school supplies.
The doctor and students trying to assemble. Once you get that, like this,
I'll only need a couple.
just till it touches the crease, right? Just till the corner touches that crease.
Okay, Wayne, we're expecting great things out of you.
Oh, Alec!
It's the best
That
part.
rocks, dude!
I mean, it's the same words over and over, so it's I can feel my heartbeat.
Was one of the words dance?
Dance.
Okay.
I
thought I might have heard that.
Beat, makes me move my feet, feet, feet. I am coming alive with my arms open wide. Let's dance, dance, dance. I can feel my heartbeat, beat, makes me move my feet, feet, feet.
Again, everybody.
I am coming alive with my arms open wide. Let's dance, dance, dance. I'll dance with you. Will you dance with me? Let's dance together.
Nice job, Ben.
Thank you.
Today we have been blessed with guests, so let us appreciate the power of the Lord. This day is a blessing day, right? Yes. It is a beautiful day. It is a colorful day.
That they tie in. Yeah. What if we measured the whole outside?
Today we're gonna work on the mural.
Christopher had been the one that coordinated that, and Mandy had designed it and had provided some stencils so it could be drawn on the water cistern. And we all worked together to do that for basically the whole day.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make this happen. It's gonna be really nice. Thanks, Mandy.
It was a lot of fun because I really like painting and art, and so we just had a good time. We played music.
The temptress painter. I'm filming.
You're what?
Filming.
Filming? That's good.
That's what we wanted on there, right?
You can see I have a nice scab right there. Well, there's a little downspout I didn't see, and it decided to connect with my head. So I can truly say I left a part of me in Kenya. and it was an exhausting day, but boy, when you look at that now, even from far away, the blue is just radiant, and those white clouds just shine from far.
We taught 3 different classes, and we had the younger kids. I taught with Rachel Matthews and Liam, LJ, and we taught music to the children.
It is interesting because you never know what to expect. We talked to groups of kids in many classrooms, and we never knew going in how well they would speak English. I think we were always surprised by how smart they were.
We had different musical sounds from other instruments from around the world that they would never ever have an opportunity to see or hear, and we let them hear.
This is called a bagpipe.
And the jet engines push it.
We did airplanes, and we had fun with it. We handed out pilot's hats that we gave to the #1 student in the class to be the pilot for the day.
This is your body! This is your body! Very good job!
Just like, it's weird teaching them about an airplane because we see them all the time. None of them have ever been on a plane before, so.
My teaching group and I are teaching geography.
Well, here's Wayne finally putting his hot air to good use.
My high blood pressure meds are kicking in.
What continent is this?
And then we build them paper airplanes. Well, they make the paper airplanes and we fly them. They really enjoy that, and they seem to love it a lot.
We gave them a little musical instrument to play, which they thought was great. We went on a parade. I think they enjoyed them. I think it was a great class that we did.
We'll get this taped up.
What really hit me was how fast they are able to learn here. I thought that we'd have to teach them a lot, but they catch on very fast. They're very bright children.
It's all kind of blending together.
Yeah,
we did a lot of
hard.
stuff. One thing on these Grant Victor expeditions is we keep very busy. There's no downtime at all. And time flies because we're so busy.
You can tell that LJ feels better today. We went to one of the dispensaries. Because I got malaria on my first trip, I thought this might be a good chance to be tested while we were there as well, and so.
Oh, look at him. Oh, boy.
And came back negative, by the way. So,
He's okay.
He's okay?
and donated Advil and supplies and you know, yeah.
I think of Dylan Samson, who did an Eagle project where he collected baby blankets and ibuprofen. Callie, you know, Jory's daughter, she collected so many different school supplies and shirts and many other things as well. And Andrew, his sister, contributed a bunch of these really good soccer balls that we took with us.
They can never go flat.
Yeah, they're perfect. They're meant for Africa. And so many others that contributed so many things. It helped our experience be so much better because we were able to give some really good, tangible things to the people.
But what touched me the most was the light we provided to the villagers.
You know, we would go into those classrooms, as you remember, and hand out those lanterns, and people were thrilled, and they would, now that was in the daylight, and yet you could still see kind of what the potential was. There was, you know, doing that at nighttime, you know, you don't know what darkness is until you visit a place like Africa.
My favorite night was when we went out from the mud hut to mud hut, in the dark, and we gave them those solar lanterns.
I didn't get to
It was
go out
really
on that.
hard to get footage because it was so black.
It's
It
completely
was so
dark
black.
in there.
But what was fun about it too was we had village children hanging on us everywhere we went. And it was fun when we went to one of their houses. They said, "This is where I live. This is my house." And they were real excited to get a light in their house because they had seen what we were doing.
I did build a desk yesterday. We watched these two builders instruct us on how to make one desk. Jeff challenged us to make the desk without any of their instruction or without seeing the desk at all.
This will determine next year's raises, guys.
That's upside down.
The four of us probably made one desk in the time that it took them to make 3 or 4.
Hey Chris, I think it's a little crooked from this angle here.
Why would that go there though, Al? I'm just trying to think if this piece goes right here.
All right, Jeff, what do you think? How's it going?
You know what? I think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna pull this off.
Good, raises for everyone.
Raises
It's looking like a desk.
I just sense a complete vacuum of leadership in this whole organization. So
that's the problem. Hey guys, this is your last piece. Scale of 1 to 10, what does he give it?
9.5.
9.5? Whoa!
Return tickets.
9.5%. We heard it. 9.5% for the crew.
And they told us that we should actually come work down here for the workshop and start building desks. So it's actually okay.
We worked pretty well as a team.
Thank you so much.
We just had a good time with the people and learned a little bit about their way of life.
Well, what I thought was interesting, first of all, the pride in which they showed their houses to us.
We went in and they have 7 children. So they had a kitchen and 5 of the kids all squished in this one room with like a little mat on the ground.
Oh, you were there. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh, you're the best.
How you doing, Wayne?
It's not easy. Yes, a new method. Oh.
Wow. That's not traditional though, Chris. Step of preparing a cornmeal. Just encouraging the maize to come, the peel to come off. By singing, they will peel off fast.
Look! It's magical!
Yes, magic!
You put it in this 2 big stones and you just like, with one hand, just spin it and it turns like the corn insides to like flour kind of, and they have to make that like every day.
So if you sing a song, sometimes the ladies mock their husbands. If you don't bring anything at home, you just go work and don't bring any money, anything. So when she's singing, she'll mock you. Oh, this old man does not come back.
He sells insurance and that's it.
True confessions.
But you better not tell him that. Happens in Kenya, stays in Kenya.
My husband is the kindest person I know. That's all.
That's good.
This is harder than it looks.
It's made out of rock.
Husband
To be
is
buffalo.
Ah, yes!
I'll give him cows.
Oh, how many cows? Buffalo?
About 90.
90 cows? Oh, I might be interested.
my dad is a weirdie.
You've just got to hand it to these women. Women work a lot harder than the men. Now, I don't think that's true, but it's what I think it's just what we've observed.
They started in waves. So there was a group of children that came to meet us, And we got out of the van, and then we walked a little further, and they sang with us, and then we met up with another group of people. There were literally thousands of people there that were just singing and dancing and jumping and shouting, and I've never seen people that excited. Not even for a Super Bowl or when the Penguins won the Stanley Cup at the parade. This celebration yesterday was so much more intense and joyous.
Boy, you go to the handover ceremonies, you go to the groundbreakings, and it's just dancing and dancing and dancing. And
you ought to demonstrate.
Well, Jeff's better than me. I'm good at the wildebeest sound, but Jeff, you're good.
Jeff's got it, the moves.
I'll move
Well,
this
I'll tell
way.
you what. Yeah, let's go ahead and get Jeff
I
an
think
opportunity.
we're good. I think we're good. The women would pull you out on the dance floor, and they'd start dancing, and they have a different style of dancing, so you start to mimic that, and then they tell you, no, you're dancing like a woman. So the guys are supposed to dance differently.
Lots of people have said that, Jeff.
They never said, I never had that
You're dancing like
I never heard that.
Music here is expression of everything that is bubbling up inside of people. They live music.
Good. It's about Matthew. This is how people they dress in that attire, and you look very, wow. I can't explain because very smart.
He's now Mwanyoka Musumbo.
Together with our Tuyasaha.
We have many of our customers of Grant Victor that have also participated.
Wana wale ambao wanashirikiana nao customers
They
wao.
did this because they love you.
Walifanya haya kwa sababu
They did this because they believe in you.
walifanya hivi kwa sababu wanaamini
And we look forward to the ongoing success of your school program.
na wanatumaini ya kwamba mtaendelea kufanya vyema na wataendelea.
I can feel my heart beat. Makes me move my feet. I'm coming alive with my arms open wide. Let's dance. I can feel my heart beat. Makes me move my
And Dea wrote a song, and we practiced.
We tried to sing our hearts out.
Dance. I'll dance with you. You dance with me. We'll dance together across the sea. I'll sing with you. Will you sing with me? We're making beautiful memories. I can feel my heart beat. Makes me move my feet. I'm coming alive with my arms open wide. Dance. I am coming alive with my arms open wide. Let's dance.
There is a real reason that I always stood in the back, right?
Yeah, no, I've concluded I can't sing and dance at the same time.
The groundbreaking we did yesterday in Wanjama, we laid the footwork for a school to be built for them. Kenyan Buni received their first gift from Coins for Kenyan Grant Victor, a school with 4 classrooms and 1 teacher's lounge. And what that means is instead of these kids having to be taught in mud classrooms, they're actually taught in a nice stone building with dedicated shade, white blackboards, and chalk. I was honored enough to be chosen to cut open the 4th classroom on Kenyan Buni. And so having those scissors in your hands, it's not just like cutting a piece of ribbon, although I failed on the bottom one, but seeing the ribbon being cut and the doors, flung open, These people cheered and roared and flooded inside this classroom to see what their kids were going to be learning in, because it's something that they probably did not have. I'm sure they did not have when they were growing up. So,
And at the end of the ceremony, after a long day in the heat, when I got sunburned from reflective heat, I saw a line of children waiting to get a drink. So I went over and we took water out of the cistern into a bucket, and there were 3 cups. And the children lined up, and 1 cup at a time were shared cups. Gave them water. A great experience.
So basically, it's our last night here, so time to party.
In the morning?
Am I the only living soul around? Need to believe you're good all the time. 'Cause I've been needing something good right now. We could be screaming till the sun comes out. Get those shoes going out. You can't focus right now. I can't.
That involves your legs.
Can I get a head clap?
This is what I was talking about. Look at he's posing. That's why he's over there, because he knew.
oh yeah.
You'd never dream that you could be within 10 feet of a full-size male lion sitting there in an open-air Toyota Land Cruiser.
That is the Lion King right there. It's Mufasa. Mufasa. Oh, say it again. Mufasa. I can't believe that.
We had one of our drivers that knew how to create a stampede, right? Is that what he called it?
Yeah.
And so you'd pull up to this big, large herd of wildebeest, and he'd make these funny calls and ooh, ooh, makes me want to run.
Pretty good, guys.
Wow, that's amazing.
All of a sudden, they'd all kick into action, and you'd feel the ground shake as they would, all run off, and it was a pretty remarkable experience.
This is unfreaking believable.
Holy cow. There's tons.
Oh, I have never seen animals like this up close and personal.
We went out when it was just pouring rain.
It is September 5th right now, and we are on Lookout Mountain. This might be my last transmission.
We're at the highest point. The only way from here is down.
Torrential downpour came over the Serengeti.
And we kind of slid down over this hill because it was muddy, so our vans just slid down, and we came up to this area where a lion had just killed a wildebeest. And the wildebeest was still alive and kicking, and the lion had its mouth on the wildebeest's neck as it was trying to suffocate it.
Not the front one, not this.
Oh, and it's starting to smoke.
We
got stuck.
You
We
guys
got stuck right there.
We didn't dare move.
We were
just
terrified.
sitting there.
Oh
my gosh. Oh my goodness.
we are going to run over.
Oh my heavens. No, we didn't.
It was incredible. I probably should have been scared, but it was just too awesome to be scared. Too awesome to be scared.
That's sweet.
Yeah, we get a chance to see kids out in these remote villages, but to be able to see in this big, well-developed city on the outskirts of town, you know, that they're these small children with lots of needs.
And we talk about how family is so important to them, and how they're so grateful for everything that they have. That is all true. But I think it's more than that. I think there is something else happening that makes a difference. And I think it's that they love God. I know it's because they love God.
Some of the shirts that had been donated, we had a lot of fun with, and we gave each of the kids a t-shirt.
I think what I'll take home the most is how you can be happy in any circumstance.
You go over there thinking that you're changing the lives of the people over there, and it does have an impact, but in the end it has a big impact on us, and it changes us more than it changes them.
And it is so much more than I ever anticipated. It's more amazing than I could have ever dreamed.
And I've been to many places in the world. This has been the most interesting place that I've ever been to, bar none, bar none.
I don't have the words to describe. I mean, I'm in an overload right now. It's such a different place and such a different experience.
It's a blast. So those are the things you remember.
And so we were bigger than them, and probably, I have a bug on me. Ooh.
This is Africa.
We were bigger than them.
This is day 7. It hasn't stopped raining in 7 days. We're hungry. Al ate the last food. He was hoarding it in his fanny pack.